sa kanyang mga ano no, whether it is black timer, whether ay may responsibility sila na sumunod po doon sa tamang mga rules natin ano. O kung di man sila kasama doon sa KBP, so itong babanggitin ko at ipapakita ko mamaya na situation at program nila ay before naman na yan na matanggal sila sa KBP. Pero hindi ibig sabihin dahil tanggal na sila sa KBP, hindi sila magpa-follow ng ano no, yung tamang ano no, tamang pagbo-broadcast.
Opo.
Okay? So kaya nga tinanong ko dito, sinabi ko kanina, true or false, programs intended to malign, unfairly criticize, or attack a person, natural or juridical, are prohibited. Okay? Although nandiyan yan dun sa KBP ano. So is it true or false? Kasama din ba yan doon sa ano nyo?
Yes, Attorney Tolentino.
Attorney Tolentino.
Stand, Mr. Chair, although we are not anymore a member of KBP, we have our own standard of ethics. We have our own standard of journalism, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
ano nga
okay.
yung standards ninyo as regards the program that intend to malign, unfairly criticize, or attack a person, natural or juridical?
In compliance with our promise, Mr. Chair, we had with me also the manual of operation, Mr. Chair, that we are going to submit today to the Honorable Committee, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Okay, kasi
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, itong sinasabi ko kanina no na standard na hindi dapat ginagawa before. Alam ba, sa akin, sa organization or even din kay ano no the Congress, yung tungkol doon sa ano no tungkol sa travel, etc. So kailangan ay ano natin ano makita natin yung ano ng SMNI as regards to this. Itong mga sinasabi nating pagmamalain. Okay.
Opo.
Meron po akong last na Mr.
Opo.
Chair.
Salamat po.
Maipakita ko lang sa inyo yung isang program nila, yung Laban sa Bayan, kaugnay dun sa pagmamalain
May
sa
video po
akin.
tayo.
Yes, at
Can we
pagbibigay
air
sa
the
akin ng
videos?
ano no.
Can we share the video as requested by the Honorable Castro? Please dim the lights if needed. Thank you. Keyboard.
Long audio.
Yeah.
Yung 1.9 billion. Huwag na lang. Gutom na ako. Hindi mo na ako.
Meron yatang ano, Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair, meron yatang technical problem?
Go back. Meron problema ba yung video ho ni Honorable Castro?
Yes, oo.
Meron.
Mr. Chair,
Ma'am.
sige, in the interest of time.
Yes, ma'am. Pwede mo natin ayusin muna tapos balik na tayo dito.
Yes, oo. Pakita na
two,
na. Pero hindi pa
Kasi-
ako sinasagot no. After siguro nung video na 'yon, sagutin ako
Opo.
na kahit na yung internal ano nila, nakalagay ba yun sa yung tinatanong ko kanina.
Okay.
Yung pagmamalain, unfairly criticize, i-attack ang person,
Opo.
natural or juridical.
Pag
Di pa ako
naayos
natatanong.
yung video, balikan namin kayo sa round 2. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Honorable
thank-
Castro.
thank
Pero
you,
kailangan
Mr.
kasi pupunta tayo kay Congressman Nograles kasi
Okay,
marami
okay.
pa akong magtatanong.
Thank you.
Pero alam po ninyo, napakabait ni Kong Dan Fernandez. Papahuli na raw siya. Magbibigay daan muna siya kay may papasok na po si Congresswoman Quimbo.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Housekeeping lang po.
Yes.
This pertains to the letter of
Opo.
Pastor Kibuloy, which you read earlier. So, dito po, he mentions that he had not, well, according to him, he had not been an officer of the corporation from the time of the enactment of RA 11422, which was in 2019. And this is the reason for why he says he should be excused from this hearing. However, Mr. Chair, so first of all, based on our records, as of 2021, he was listed as ultimate beneficial owner, and that's based on the document submitted to us. And as we know, ultimate beneficial owner means that he effectively controls a corporation. Of course, he can argue that may technicality, hindi pa rin yun officer, but ngayon pa man, ibig sabihin nun, marami siyang kaalaman being, having effective control over the corporation. Number two, pwede ba natin malaman? So sa ngayon po, ang executive pastor ay si Pastor Acobo, tama ba?
Can I answer that, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Prior to him, sino po ang executive pastor?
Pastor Apollo C. Quimbo, Mr. Chair.
At nagpalit sila noong December 19, 2022, tama
Yes,
po ba?
Mr. Chair.
Okay, so in which case, si Pastor Quiboloy ay executive pastor up to December 19, 2022. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, in which case, Mr. Chair, ibig sabihin nun, parang mini-mislead yata tayo ng sulat na to. Kasi even after the enactment of the franchise agreement, siya pa rin po ay officer ng corporation,
Mr.
being
Chair?
the executive pastor until December 19, 2022.
Can I explain to that, Mr. Chair? There is a legal concept with respect to corporation sole. A corporation sole, usually this is a corporation with respect to religious organizations. If you are the chief executive minister, you're holding the properties of a church as a trustee of the church. The real owner of the church is actually the members of the church. In fact, that is based on section 108 of the revised corporation code, Mr. Chair. So that is corporation code, corporation sole, different from one person corporation or an ordinary corporation.
Mr. Chair, hindi naman po ito korte.
Opo.
Ang
Yes,
purpose
Attorney,
naman po ng hearing.
Attorney Tolentino, ang tanong ho niya is, I mean, wag ho tayo kasi we're talking about sole corporation, wag ho tayo umikot-ikot masyado sa officers. We're talking of UBO, ultimate beneficial
Owner
owner.
who has effective
And
control over the
yes,
corporation.
that is the question of the honorable,
Yes, in which case, Mr. Chair,
honorable Stella.
which means that he has sufficient information and
Opo.
therefore may kakayahan po siya to shed light on the matter.
Anong pag
at hand.
UBO
So,
kayo,
in which
alam niyo na.
case, Mr. Chair, sa akin lang po is we must insist that that he appears before us.
You know
So,
why?
yun lang po, Mr.
Alam mo,
Chair.
alam po ninyo, attorney, ganito yan. In the letter kasi, sabi niya, nung nirenew yung franchise niya noong December 19,
Noong 2019.
2019, hindi na raw siya officer. Yun ang sulat. Ang tanong niya, he may not be an officer, but he is still the UBO.
He was never an officer of SMNI. Mr.
Correct. No, but nakalagay nga ron. Pero now, he is still the UBO. So he's invited being the UBO. So in the next hearings, we will now, I mean, the records that you have submitted to the committee shows that he is and was the UBO until 2022 before the
Can I explain this?
so hindi po siya mali, hindi ho tugma dun sa sulat ho na binigay niya. Yun ang point of the council ni Congresswoman Stella Quimbo. Hindi po siya tumutugma because ang importante ho dito, sino po talaga may-ari nito? We're looking at the ultimate beneficial owner. No?
I think, Mr. Chair, the best person to answer is the lawyer of Pastor Quiboloy.
Who is?
Here, Mr. Chair.
Oh, now you're not anymore the lawyer. You are the
I'm the
lawyer.
lawyer
of-
of SMNI, Mr. Chair, not
Okay.
the lawyer of Pastor Quiboloy.
Is she here?
Yes, she is.
Ma'am,
here, Mr. Chair.
please state your name.
Good
Yes.
afternoon to our esteemed members, to
Yes.
our chairman and esteemed members
Yes,
of the Committee
yes.
on Leadership Franchises. I am Attorney Antoinette Principe. I am the counsel and representative of Pastor Quiboloy, and I was tasked specifically to furnish this honorable committee with that letter that you have read a while ago, Your Honor.
Okay. So my questions, wait, before that, were you present in the previous hearings?
No, Your Honor, because my engagement is only for today's hearing.
Okay, maybe we ask you to please rise. So I ask the COMSEC to administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this congressional inquiry, so help you God? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for serving the letter, which now has opened another set of questions. And position of the Honorable Kimbo is that there's an inconsistency of the content of the letter and now the documents that you've submitted before this committee, especially in the GIS of 2022 and 2023. She's now going into, there's a comparison. Can you
Yes,
please reply? Is it inconsistent or not?
Your Honor, I'm afraid I'm not able to answer that question intelligently because when I had a meeting with Pastor Quiboloy last December 8th, we only had a very brief discussion. He received the letter which came from this committee on the evening of December 7, and we had a very short meeting on December 8th. And inasmuch as it was a very long weekend holiday, he does not have the documents. He has no access to such documents, so we cannot answer that intelligently, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
My question is, Honorable Paduano, who can answer the question? I mean, if the lawyers of Smni cannot answer and you cannot answer, then who will now answer the questions raised by the Honorable Kimbo?
Mr. Chairman,
Attorney Tolentino.
I think, Mr. Chair, if the committee will allow, can we ask the SEC, Mr. Chair, to explain what is that corporation sole all about?
Mr.
Wait,
Chairman,
no.
Mr. That
There's
is not the
something-
matter being discussed, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
wait. The Honorable Paduano, the Honorable Kimbo, are you going to give way to the Honorable Paduano?
Yes.
Because she has the floor. The Honorable Paduano.
Thank you,
is
Mr. Chairman.
recognized.
Mr. Chairman, the lawyer, Pastor Kibuloy is present. But yung trabaho nila is to just submit to us the letter of to the invitation of this committee. And I think sinabi niya wala siyang knowledge. And the letter of Pastor Kibuloy, it's up to the committee if we will accept or not. Diba? And we cannot question the details from the lawyer because in the first place, sagot nga, hindi niya may detalye, hindi lamang detalye. So, Mr. Chairman, it's up to the committee, to the chair, to decide whether in the next hearing, we still invite Pastor Kibuloy.
Yes,
Because
so-
it's up to us to decide.
Okay, thank you very much. We will decide on that later. Thank you very much, Honorable Paduano. So, because the only reason why I acknowledged you, ma'am, was because Attorney Tintino said to acknowledge, requested that you will answer the questions being raised by the Honorable Kimbo. Now, you can't also answer the same questions being raised
Yes,
by the
Your Honor.
Honorable Kimbo.
Yes, Your Honor.
So,
Yes, I will just.
so we're still left in a quandary as to his being the UBO, which we're really interested in. No? The Honorable
Yes,
Kimbo
Mr.
is
Chair, I will
recognized.
simplify my questions,
Yes.
just based on the letter. The letter says, I have not been an officer of the corporation from the time of the enactment of the RA, so that's 2019. Hence, I must respectfully send my regrets for my absence in the hearing today. So, ang sinasabi ba dito sa liham ay dahil hindi daw siya officer, wala siyang sufficient na information and therefore, hindi na siya a-appear ngayong araw. Yun bang ibig sabihin nun? Ipaliwanag niyo lang.
Yes,
Yun
may I
ang,
be
yun ang
allowed
logic.
to?
Yes or no lang,
Yes or no lang?
para madali.
Yes or no?
Yes, because he's not an officer
Yun
and the
na nga.
invitation states
So tama, it has
specifically-
to do with not having sufficient information.
Yes, Your
Correct.
Honor.
Okay. However, it is very clear based on our documents, and I will furnish you a copy, that he is or he was ultimate beneficial owner at least April 29, 2021, which is beyond the enactment of the RA, which is 2019. Okay? And as ultimate beneficial owner, he has effective control over the corporation. Now, will you agree with me that having effective control over a corporation, would you have sufficient information about the corporation?
With due respect to the chair.
Yes or no only. If
With
you have
due respect-
effective control over a corporation, any corporation, if person X has effective control over corporation Y, does person X have sufficient information about corporation Y?
With due respect to the chairman and members of the committee, as I said, the engagement of Pastor Quiboloy to this representation was solely
I am asking
to-
about person X and corporation Y.
Again, I am not privy to that specific matter,
Mr.
Your
Chair,
Honor.
our attorney is not being
No,
responsive. So
I know, yeah, you were introduced as the lawyer of Pastor
Only
Kibuloy, just to deliver. Are you trying to tell me that you were sent here, ma'am, just to deliver the letter to the
Yes, Your
chairman?
Honors.
That's the only thing? You're not
because
supposed to answer any question?
yes, Your Honor, because the Pastor Quiboloy respects the today's proceedings, despite the very short period of time he was given when he received the invitation. As a show of respect to this committee, he wanted to have someone personally deliver the letter.
Okay, so she
saying
was
his
just here
regrets.
just to deliver the letter.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Attorney Suplico, can you answer the questions as SMNI lawyer? Since this is an SMNI affair.
Well, Your Honor, in our records, specifically the amended GIS for 2023, his name does not appear.
well, that is also, Mr. Chair, let me point out one thing that we also uncovered when we were comparing documents with the SEC. It turns out that the submission to Congress is different from the submission to the SEC. So ito pong submission ng GIS to Congress, which has the beneficial ownership declaration, ito pong binasa ko, ito po ay wala po dun sa submission sa SEC. Kaya nagtaka po ang SEC. Sabi nila, bakit? Well, we can ask the SEC to verify that. But yun po ang naging...
Who is the beneficial owner in the SEC records? May I ask the SEC?
For
Attorney-
for the April 29, 2021 submission, can you double check your documents and see if it has a beneficial owner declaration?
Yes, Mr. Blanco.
Yes, Your Honor. The repository of the submissions of the GIS, which contains ultimate beneficial owners, is with the EIPD. But we confirm, Mr. Chair, that and we have accessed the documents that are with the Honorable Quimbo, and we confirm that.
What do you confirm?
We confirm that from 2020 to 2022, the declaration in those documents, ultimate beneficial owner for Suarasug was Pastor Quiboloy.
So you're saying that
I stand
The-
corrected, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
2020.
I'm sorry, from 20, can you please repeat? Attorney you're a lawyer, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Attorney
Padilla.
Padilla. Yes. Are you confirming what? This from what date again? Can you please repeat the dates?
Until 2020, Mr. Chair,
He was.
the ultimate beneficial owner.
How about
This-
2020, 2021, 2022? They are not. He was not anymore.
Not anymore, Mr. Chair.
Sir Chair,
The Honorable Kimbo.
in 2021, exactly on April 29, 2021, they submitted exactly the same
Who?
thing,
SMNI.
SMNI,
Okay. And
declaring the same,
that
that Pastor Quiboloy
is still.
was the ultimate beneficial owner.
So, yes, Attorney Padilla.
So it would appear, Mr. Chair, that the Honorable Kimbo is correct, that we have different documents.
What
See-
I was saying
see.
earlier.
So now there's that confirmation that the document submitted before the SEC is different from the document submitted before this honorable committee for the information of SMNI. I don't think that's something that can be refuted anymore unless you will say that you had I mean, what can you say?
Maybe, Mr. Chair, may pagkakamali sa pag-file sa House of Congress. But based on our record, Mr. Chair, in only 2020,
These are notarized documents, attorney.
yes, maybe.
So we will call now the notary public. We will go there. Baka umabot tayo na New Year dito, attorney.
But based on
Question.
our record, Mr. Chair, Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy is the beneficial owner only in 2020 because he is the trustee of a corporation sole the executive pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ.
Correct.
Because
Anyway.
per description of the SEC, Mr. Chair, letter B, D, and I, Mr. Chair, only natural person should be included in the beneficiary. That's why the name of Apollo Quimbo was there. But
Okay.
actually, our intent is that the corporation sole, the executive pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, who is the trustee, is Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy.
Alright.
And he is not the trustor or the real owner, Mr. Chair.
But
Well, I mean, we can rumble jumble the whole thing, but the bottom line is who is the UBO? No, the UBO is very clear, and the SEC has stated that earlier. The Honorable Quimbo, anyway, Honorable Quimbo, we will continue with the line. Are you willing
Yes.
to give in already? Do you still have a question?
No,
Mr. Chair.
I'm just saying that these are notarized documents. And
Yes.
so the April 29, 2021 notarized GIS clearly states the UBO
Yes.
is Pastor
And that
Quiboloy.
there's
so-
a
and then-
now.
And my bottom line, Mr. Chair, is simply that let's, taking away all of these legalistic
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
concepts. All bottom line lang naman is that meron naman siyang sufficienteng kaalaman. Ang gusto lang naman talaga natin is to
The
shed
truth.
light on the matter. Yun lang po, Mr.
I just
Chair.
would like to ask a question.
Ganun lang
ah.
kasimple.
Ano lang diretso lang ang sagot, attorney.
yes, Mr. Chair.
Iba yung sabi nyo sa SEC. Ibang sabi nyo sa committee. Ano po totoo doon?
Yung totoo po, yung sa SEC po.
So fake ko yun na dito.
Hindi man fake po. Maybe nagkamali yung nag-file po.
Hindi totoo. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. Doon lang po tayo, ha?
Another,
Salamat
Mr. Chair,
po.
can I
Thank you.
explain?
Okay.
But nonetheless, 2020 is still beyond 2019,
Yes.
which is the enactment.
I
of
know
RA.
what, maski paano ho natin i-justify yan, iba pa rin po yung sinasabi po sa sulat, iba rin po yung yun ang punto ho ni the Honorable Quimbo. But we will go back to that, ha? Yes, Honorable Toby Tiangco before the Honorable Dan Fernandez.
Mr. Chair,
I just would like to emphasize that this is, I've been allowing all of this interpretation questions to shed light before we go to the discussion. We're already discussing the bill of the resolution of the Honorable Nograles. But we would just like to get some clarification, especially issues that were not raised in the last hearing before we go into the vote of the committee report. Yes, the Honorable Toby Tiangco.
Mr. Chair, it's not as simple as sinasabi po ni Attorney Tolentino na nagkamali because these are both sworn statements.
Correct,
So meron isa doon na nagsinungaling.
correct,
Very simple. We cannot take it as na nagkamali.
correct.
So I just want to manifest that, Mr.
Thank you
Chair.
very much, Honorable Toby Tiangco.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I
Mr.
move
Chair,
that
can I
we-
just manifest something
Wait,
as well?
ladies first. The Honorable Quimbo.
I move that we invite the Pastor Apollo Quiboloy
We will,
to
we
the
will,
next
we
hearing.
will re-invite.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The Honorable JJ Suarez, the Honorable Dan Fernandez.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just want to share the sentiments of Congressman Chanco regarding this revelation. Hindi po pwede na iba yung sinasabit nyo sa SEC tapos iba yung sinasabit nyo dito sa Congress. Because it's supposed to be one and the same. Those are sworn affidavit, notarized documents. And then you have just now admitted na nagkamali kayo ng submission dito. So on that point, Mr. Attorney Tolentino, again, that puts a lot of question on the truthfulness of the documents that you're submitting to the House of Representatives, which may tarnish the very franchise that you hold. Kasi ito po ang pinagbabasihan namin. Tapos when we discovered recently with SEC that you have just confirmed these two documents are actually different.
Mr. Chair, can I see the document, Mr. Chair?
Okay.
Can we check the document?
Yes, we
Compare?
will be, can you please, Comsec, you're directed to give a copy to to Attorney Tolentino. Now we recognize from Laguna, the Honorable Dan Fernandez.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Finally. Mr. Chairman, I was asking for, in the last hearing, we asked Attorney Tolentino about the documents pertaining to the 2022 service. Quiet mo pare. service contract, invoices, and,
Silence is requested. The Honorable Dan Fernandez is speaking.
yeah,
And
and all of the official receipts that was issued by SMNI in relation to all your revenues collection, and at the same time the different schedule expenses that had been released by SMNI. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, when I read these documents,